Alright guys, so you want to print to a label maker from C#. I am going to be using Visual Studio 2019. The first thing you want to do is get the printer. I am going to be using the Brother QL-700 label printer. Once you have that, Brother will let you use the P-Touch Editor 5.2. You go there, it's a free download, but you have to enter in the model and the serial number and all that to get it free. Once you enter all that in, you got the P-Touch Editor. Basically, you'll go in and you create a label, just like anything else. You create new and then you choose whatever you want to do. What I did is I created, one for a 2.4 inch label maker, and you can add all the objects that you can fit on there, and go from there. I will show you. Alright, so this is your basic, like a label, like a text box. So what you want to do, if you want to see how it links up to C# and the code behind, right click the object or the text box that you created, go into properties, go into expanded, and what you want to do is give it an object name. This one I named brand, and so that's what I'm going to refer to in the C# code. And that's the same with all the other objects. Like I created 3 text boxes here that I want to send information to display on the label, and basically that one's a SKU. This was set up for a little inventory program that I wrote, and I'm just going to have a basic Windows form application that you can look at and code next to me if you want. Alright, so for the barcode, this is very helpful. It's the same thing. You have the object that you're going to refer to in the code. I am using code 39 on the protocol tab. You can pick and choose whatever codes that you're using, ISBNs for books and so forth. They also have the capability of doing QR codes. And yeah, so this is the object that you will refer to print to that. You also have like a placeholder for your data. I just entered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So anyways, once you save this file, do a save as, save it to your project folder or somewhere around on your computer that you can refer to it. You'll have to put a path in to this label in the C# code. Alright, let's pop over to Visual Studio 2019, and I will show you how I have it set up, and we will build the program from scratch, and I will show you how to put in the DLL and sort of how I go about doing things. Alright. Okay, we're on Visual Studio 2019, and we're going to go in here and create a forums application. So we'll go to New Project, and we will scroll down to the Windows Forum application. Right there, Windows Forum app. Click that. Click next. And we'll call this Brother Print. And they like putting it by default and underneath the user, source, and repos. Maybe I'm still old school, but what I like to do is go into Visual Studio and then put it in projects. and click create. And now we have the Windows form application. I will go ahead and change the text at the top. And what I also like to do is change the startup location for Windows Forms. Always gives you Windows default, but I like to put mine center screen. Leave that there. Okay, so we wanted to refer to all the objects that I had created in the label, basically. So what I'm going to do is, see here, put in a couple of labels and put that there. And go ahead and say name. I guess to keep it consistent, we'll say brand. And yep. Then we'll go over here and we will create a text box. And just put it over here. Line it up, give them some space to write. And what you want to do is give your text box a name. See here, text box brand. Okay. And you can come in here and limit it on the amount of characters you want in there so that everything fits in the label and doesn't go off the label, and sort of sets the size. So go in here to max length and set it to maybe, I'd say let's go 10 characters right now. I think that's what would fit on mine. You have to experiment and kind of play around to figure out what fits on your label and so forth. It depends on the font size and everything else you set up in the label. Now that we have the brand set up, let's go ahead and do the description and put it over here. Description. And let's see here, line it up a little bit. And get a text box. Put that in here. Make the description right there. And same with this text box. You're going to want to give it a name you're going to refer to in the code. So let's go down here to name, and we'll say text box descript. Alright, next we will add in the SKU. So let's go to the label and put that in here. And we will say for the name, or we don't need a name, we need a, just change the text. It's going to be SKU. And line that up a little bit. And grab a text box. Set the character length on that and the name. Text box Q, and let's set the max length and 10 numbers. That'll work. And then the SKU is going to be on your label, and it's going to show up as in the barcode too. I'm going to use the same number for the barcode. So anyways, next we need to hit or click a button here, create a button so it can fire back, and we will say for the content of the button, print, and button 1, that's fine. You can rename it if you want, but that's all I need for this. Double click, creates the event for you. And at this point, you're going to want to download the DLL for this project. And what I did, and I'll show you, let me minimize this. I created a little folder here, and it has all the SDKs. You're going to want to install the printer in 32-bit and 64-bit on your computer to get it running. So you can go to Brother and download the drivers for the printer on your computer. This right here, the Interop BPAC DLL, you'll want to get the BPAC SDK. If you type that in Google with Brother, it'll pop up. You can go download the DLL for this. I just put it in a simple project folder once I got it, and this is what we're going to refer to in our references. So go over to references, you'll right click, add reference, and you're going to want to use this right here. You're going to have to browse to it wherever it's located in your folder, and then once you select it, you click OK, check there, click OK. Now it's in your references, so you're good to go there. And what you're going to want to do now is, since this goes into your click event, you can do several different things with your click event. So basically what I like to do is create another method to go to. So and what you could do is do a try catch statement to catch any errors you might have. And give yourself a message box so you know what, you can work through any errors you might get. And you can just say print error, give it a space, and your exception plus whatever message it's going to give you back. It'll give you a detailed message if you do it that way. And the first thing you want to do is create a path to your label that you created in the PTouch editor. So I put it in the same project folder that you saw. So basically you just create a path like that. Refer to it with that. Make this a little bit easier on myself since I already have the path set up. The easiest way to do that, by the way, I'll show you, is I got the inventory tag right here that the PTouch editor created. I copied it over here. It has a .lbx for the file. You come up here, right click, copy, Control V, bam. Now you have your main path. You still got to put in the name of the label, so backslash, and that is inv tag.lbx. And now what you want to do is create the document object. So you're going to say b pack dot document and give it a name. I'll just call it doc equals new bpack document. Bam, you got your document project or object, sorry. And you're going to want to open up the document. So you go doc dot open, and you're going to want to put in the path. You could just put the path directly in there, but you might want to refer to the path later on as you expand your project, so forth. Anywho, now you want to create a Boolean object. I'll call it test equals doc dot set printer and that is brother QL space 700. Set it to true. Okay, now it's time to start referring to your text boxes and getting the values out of them. Let's see here. Equals text box. Here was a description, so I'll just go short there and text box description dot text, and see here also you want to do the skew. Alright, you got your 3 text boxes that you're pulling values from, and now you want to refer to the objects that you created on your label that we referred to in the PTouch editor. So go Document, Get Object, parentheses, quotes. Alright, so now you want to refer to your object on your document or on your label. Dot text equals brand, which is referring to your text box, passing it into the object. So you'll want to do that with all four of your objects on the label. Like on mine, I have 4 objects, so I got brand, description, SKU, and then the barcode. And to make it easier, you can just description and SKU. And if you remember, we're going to pass the same SKU to the barcode, so that's what that's going to go to there. I'm going to print it out on the label and put in the barcode. I do that so that this text right here is going to be a little bit larger on the label. It's a little bit easier than reading a barcode sometimes. So I print it above. So basically, my object for the description was description. And for the SKU was just simple SKU. If you keep your nomenclature the same, then it makes it easier. Inventory bar code, and that would be it for grabbing all your values. Now you want to start the print. So you go to Document, Start Print, and pass in a null value there for this particular label. And then you go to bpack dot print option constants dot bp default. Okay, now you want to print out. Print out, and we're going to say one label, and you can have it do multiple labels, but I'm just doing one per click right now. bpack print option constants, and then the BPO default, and then come down here and you want to end the print. End print, and then you want to close the document. Bam, easy as that. up here you want to refer to the brother, print this, and now you're all hooked up. So basically, just click start, and we'll give it a name of Bob, and I'll show you the end result. Description, we'll just say here, we'll give it brand. Okay, we'll say Under Armour. Oh, only give it 10 characters, that's right. So let's call it maps description fishing lure, and SKU 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you click print, and you heard it just print, but I'll show you the end result. And voila. One of the other things I wanted to cover, if you get this exception here when you run it, it means you need to install the 32-bit version of the SDK and the 64-bit. I am running on a 64-bit machine. I've run it on a 32-bit machine. It runs fine there also, but you have to install both the SDKs. At least that's what I have found. You also have to have the printer driver installed on your computer, and everything runs smoothly. This is one of the easiest label printers I've ever worked with writing to it. There's great documentation at Brother. There's some links in the videos below. But yep, there you go. Have fun printing.